am going to make you some corned beef and rice. Corned beef and rice is something that we make in the island of Barbados. It's something that I grew up eating when I was a little girl. I haven't eaten it in a long time, but I thought that I would make this dish. And the reason for me doing this is to show you that there's simple little things that you can make a whole meal from. Now, every time I go into the supermarket, I find the shelves are empty. Everybody's buying everything off the shelves and storing these things. So you can buy some simple little things like a can of corned beef, and you can make 2 meals out of that. You can make 1 meal of that, and that of course depends on how big your family is. I have a can of corned beef here, and I'm gonna split it in half because there is just 2 people in my home right now, so I'm cooking for 2. So I'm gonna make some corned beef fritters, and I'm going to make some corned beef and rice. So the corned beef fritters I'm gonna have to do on a different channel because I think this channel will be too long and I don't want it to be that long. So let's get started. But before we get started, I also want to show you that because of the coronavirus and everything that's going around, you have to keep your work area as clean as possible. So I want to show you what I clean my work area with. Right here, this is 409. Every time I clean up, I also sometimes spray this to sanitize my area. This right here is an all-purpose cleaner. Listen, girls, the shelves are empty because people can't find alcohol, they can't find pine salt, they can't find these things because everybody's buying these things to clean. I made this over a month ago and it's still going strong. You see, I still have a lot here. This has alcohol, this has pine salt, it has 409, sorry. I have some dishwashing liquid in here, some water, and I think I have clean green in here. And I mixed this, I have a recipe for it, and I mixed it over a month ago. This is very easy to use. Spray this in your tub, just wipe the tub, it comes clean. Spray it on any spots you find around your house, it comes clean. If any of you want me to make this recipe for you, to show you how this is done, I will be happy to do it. Simple, you just spray and just wipe and your area is clean. Okay, so let's get started. First, let me put this stuff away and then we'll get started. Okay, so we're gonna start by me washing my hands. Now, the first thing I'm gonna start with is my rice. I'm gonna put my rice on to cook because that's gonna take a few minutes. So I'm only making 1 cup of rice, and 1 cup of rice to about 2 cups of water. So let me just get my rice started first before I go on to my gravy. So I'm gonna use this as a half a measuring cup right here. So that's half a cup. And I'm using brown rice, but of course you are welcome to use whatever kind of rice you prefer, but I like this brown rice, so I'm using that. I like to wash my rice first, so I'm gonna do this. So let me wash my rice. Let me move this out of the way. Years ago, when I grew up in Barbados, this is so funny, but we had the white rice and we had to pick that rice. The rice used to have a lot of bad grains in it, and I remember I used to come home from school, and when I come home I want to go to play with my friends, but my grandmother she used to leave like a big bag of rice on the table. She was at work and I had to pick that rice by the time she got home because she needed that rice to cook. And you'd be sitting there forever so mad because you had to pick all the bad grains, and that rice used to be dirty. I don't know where they got that rice from. It used to have all kind of dirty stuff inside of it, but you had to pick it. All right, this is my rice wash. As you can see, my water is already boiling. That's just water in there. There's nothing else in there. So now I'm gonna put my rice in. People always ask me, how do you cook rice? Rice is very simple to cook. You see how that look? If you are cooking rice and you put your water in there and you put your rice in there, The water should just, the rice should just come to about the top. The water should just be above the rice. If you have too much water in there that you can barely see the rice, that means your rice is going to come out soft. You don't want that. You want the grains to be nice and firm. So the water is just above the rice. Some butter. I think this is fresh thyme. I dropped that in there. I'm going to put some salt in there. And I just sprinkled my salt in there because I kind of average it. So you just put it in and then you can taste it. If you feel like, oh, I don't know if I have enough, just go ahead and taste it. It's not a big deal. It's just water. So put a little bit in your hand. That don't need any more salt. I don't want it to be salty. So that is just right there. And I'm going to add some onion to that and then just let that boil. So let me just cut up some onion to add into that. Next, I'm going to add in here, I have here some onion and some green scallions. So now let me add in the onion and the scallion in there. And just stir it. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper and a little bit of seasoned salt to that as well. A little black pepper, seasoned salt, a little bit of garlic powder. Just stir. I'm also going to add a sweet potato to this. Sweet potato, I just add the sweet potato in like that, and that sweet potato will cook in there. So this is my rice. My stove is on low, and that'll take it time and cook because I don't want it to cook too quick because then the grains will be hard. It'll have to add water to it. So I lower my stove so it can take its time and cook. So now let's get started on the gravy. The rice now is cooking, so we need to get started on the gravy. Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna make corned beef gravy, and this corned beef right here I bought, but there are different types of corned beef. You can just buy any kind that you like and you prefer. I just picked this one up from the supermarket, but I'll show you two ways to make this corned beef. Okay, so let's get started first with the onion. I'm gonna peel this slice up this onion right here. Okay, that's done. Usually slice it big like that. So that is done. And I have in here some garlic. So let's go ahead and start sauteing the onion first. So first thing I'm gonna do is turn the stove on. Get my good old olive oil. And get that started. So I'm going to put this in the olive oil. So while that is there, I'm going to take out my garlic. Listen, back in the islands where I grew up years ago, a lot of people didn't have money, and corned beef and stuff is things that people ate a lot of. My mother would always tell me that years ago there was a hurricane in Barbados called Jeanette when my mother was a little girl, and after Jeanette, what people got was like cans of sardine and corned beef and so on. Those are things that people ate, and people are still eating those things today. And trust me, they taste very good. When you haven't had it for a while, you just have a craving for it. So you don't have to go crazy trying to figure out what to get in the supermarket. Get some simple little things that you can make and can last you and your family. Because you can make get a good meal just from that. So this is some garlic. I'm gonna add this garlic to my onion. Okay, so while my onion and garlic is sauteing, I'm gonna show you the next step. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna cut some scallions, and I'm gonna add this to. Okay, so So far I have some onion in here, some garlic, and some scallion. So now I'm going to put in some fresh thyme. Throw some thyme in there to help flavor the pot. And I'm going to let this saute for a little bit. While this is sauteing, let me prepare the other stuff. So show you, as you can see here with the rice is cooking. That's the rice that stay there. The stove is low, so that is good. Okay, so let it sit now, saute for a little bit. And put that over there. Almost forgot my peppers. Okay, so let me just cut up this pepper here and throw it in there. We need to add a piece of pepper too. Make our food colorful with all the vegetables. So now I'm going to throw this pepper in here. Onion makes everything smell good. Okay. Now next, I'm going to put in there is some cabbage. I like cabbage. Cabbage is good for you. The more that you use is good for you. So let me I just shred my cabbage like this. Because I don't like eating big pieces of cabbage. So I just shred it thin. And then it'll cook down. When it cooks now, you're not even going to see it. I'll barely see it. Okay, so you got your cabbage. You spread your cabbage small. Now I'm going to put this cabbage with my onions and peppers over here. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I just lowered the stove. I'm just going to cover this for a few minutes. I let the cabbage cook down in here, and then I'll come back and show you. Now while my rice is cooking and my cabbage and onions and so on is cooking down, there's something else I have to do. So everything will be finished about the same time. So I have here a cucumber. In this bowl is my stuff that I already washed. So my cucumber has already been washed. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this cucumber. Now, I have this fork right here, and I'm going to put some lines in my cucumber. Make sure you wash your cucumber good, because sometimes cucumbers come with a lot of grease on it, and I have to wash all that stuff off, but I make sure you wash it really good. You can wash your vegetables in vinegar. That's very good. Alright. Now, cut off the head, the top of that, because I don't need that. Just put that in there. And take your cucumber and just go like this and slice it. Slice it very thin. So see, you have your sliced cucumber. So okay, so now I have a lemon here. Now the reason I did the cucumber like that is if you're having a little get together and you want to make some cucumber, make it look fancy. And that's all that really is, just looking fancy. And now I'm gonna add some lemons in here. I'm holding my hands for the seeds. And put some lemon all over your cucumber. Voila! And then we will sprinkle on some salt. And be sure, and then mix it up. Just lemon and salt so far. I'm gonna put a little piece of pepper, but taste it. Don't be afraid to taste your food. Don't put it out there and then it's either too bland or too salty or something. So taste it to see if maybe you need to add a little more lemon or a little more salt. That's all. I think I'll add a little more salt. And that's good. Now I have a little pepper here. I'm going to take a piece of pepper. This is fresh pepper, habanero pepper. I'm going to take a small piece of it. This thing is very hot, so I'm not going to use a whole lot of that. I'm not even going to touch it with my fingers because it burns my fingers. And cut a little piece up. If you don't like pepper, you don't have to use this. I just happen to like pepper, so I use a little bit of pepper. And put in there. You don't have to do that, but you can do it if you like. Or you can just sprinkle the pepper in the shake if you have that. And then if you have an avocado, you can slice up an avocado and put in there as well. I have an avocado, but it's a little hard, so I'm not going to use that. And this is it. That's done. So I put this aside for now. I don't need to use this. I don't need this right now until the food is done. So this is done. I put that aside. So let me go back now and check. Okay. So this is my onion here and my cabbage. Looks good, huh? Smells just as good as it looks. Let's see how the rice is coming along. The rice is drying down. It's coming along pretty good. It's drying down. We're going to continue to leave that because it still have water in there to be dried out. So now I'm going to add some tomatoes to here, my corned beef, and some seasoning. So let me get that over here. So now I'm going to use I'm going to cut up this tomato that I'm going to throw in there with the gravy. I usually use a lot of tomatoes and peppers and onions when I'm cooking in my gravy. So I'm going to give it a stir again. Okay. Now I am going to open my corned beef. And it have a little key here where you just turn it like that and open it, which is pretty easy to do. See, voila, open it and just let it out, just take it out. You gotta shake it a little bit to get it out. You gotta be careful, corned beef can do it. It'll cut you if you don't be careful. I said I'm gonna leave half of it for fritters, and I'm gonna use half in my gravy. And I can do this because I am only cooking for 2 people. If you're cooking for a whole lot of people, half is not going to be enough. You're going to need 1 or 2 depending on how many people you're cooking for. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and mash this down. And now I'm going to put this into the gravy. So let's go. And I'm going to go ahead and add my seasonings. I'm going to add just a tip of water. Just a little water for that to boil down in. And now, while that is boiling down to that, I'm going to add some ketchup, some garlic powder. Okay, so now I'm going to add some butter. I will add some pepper sauce, my handy dandy Barbados pepper sauce, a bit of seasoned salt, and Just give it a stir. And what I'll do is I'm going to leave this here and let the tomatoes and so on cook down a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. Let's check our corned beef. Looks good. See, it's all boiled down. And this is your gravy. Now you're going to taste your gravy. Always taste your gravy to see if you need more salt, because that's not a lot of corned beef. It's usually salty, but that's not really a lot of corned beef in there. So now let me just taste that to see if I need to add anything to it. And let me see here. Let me taste it to see what I need to add. Okay. I really didn't add salt to that, so I need a little salt. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little salt. And I think that should be good. So this is done. Oops. This is done. See, it didn't take that long. Now let's see if our rice is done as well. See, our potato is cooked. Is our rice grains cooked? Let's check those. Make sure they're soft. Yep, they're cooked. So now everything is done at the same time. You started your rice and then you made your gravy, and now you have corned beef and rice. So let me just put this on a plate and show you what it looks like. So now let's put it here on the plate. Let's plate it. There we go. That's a piece of our potato that is cooked. Let me turn off the stove, both stove. This is our thyme that I had put in there before. We don't need to have that anymore. You can take that out. And there's our rice. So now okay guys, so this is the finished meal here. We have corned beef and rice. You see we have cabbage in there. You have your tomatoes, your peppers, your onions in there. We have a piece of sweet potato, and we have some cucumber with some lemon and pepper and salt. Okay, so this is your meal that you can serve your family. It's very inexpensive, and this can serve your entire family. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for my next video. I will be making corned beef fritters with the other half of the corned beef that I did not use. I'm going to make corned beef fritters with those. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much again for joining me. I really had fun doing this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye-bye.